paranormal entity caught at the infamous Lakeview Cemetery in Buhl, Minnesota. As soon as night fell upon the cemetery, the paranormal activity commenced, and little did the paranormal investigators know what was in store for them. Like this dominant orb that makes its way through the infamous demon shack. Just moments later, one of the investigators was setting up one of the wired SLS cameras, and an entity shows up right behind him.
Anton, do not move. Repeat, do not move. An entity. Oh, this is kind of weird.
After all the crazy paranormal activity the team just witnessed, they grabbed their gear and headed to the Potter's Field. It wasn't even 15 minutes, and a very unusual SLS capture happens. To see if it's a false capture, the investigator on the left side of the screen slowly moves forward to see if the camera picks up on him. Then a very unusual sequence of SLS mapping occurs, and it leaves the investigators wondering what just happened. And no matter what the investigator did, he could not get the camera to remap his figure. Then it just disappeared. The team attempts a spirit box session with no luck, and they decide to make their way towards the Veterans Memorial, and as they were walking past the demon shack, they capture this photo. Upon first review of the picture, the investigators were taken back and had to take the evidence to base camp to review it on a laptop. After getting a good look at the photo, they could not believe what they had just seen and decide to move forward cautiously. The team decides to investigate the demon shack and put off going to the Veterans Memorial in light of the paranormal activity in the area. Upon entering the demon shack, an entity forms. As you will see in this section of video, it appears as if the entity walks through the doorway into the building, leaving the team asking, was this residual or intellectual? The investigators follow the entity in, and they immediately start an EVP session and attempt to communicate with the entity.
I'd like to speak with me.
As you heard there, we got some sort of response after I asked if there was something that wanted to communicate. We're going to play it over and over a few times so you can hear it.
Jimmy takes a series of photos, and after reviewing them, the investigators come across this in evidence review. To the right of the photo, you will notice an orb, and when you zoom in, there is actually a face just to the left of the orb.